After losing the Intercontinental title to Shinsuke Nakamura on the kickoff show at Extreme Rules, Pro Wrestling Sheet broke the news that Finn Balor has requested time off and has been granted time off from WWE, which would explain the title change. And so starting next month, I assume after SummerSlam, he'll be taking 2 months off to, I guess, recharge the batteries. On Raw, he lost to Samoa Joe, but you would never know that. You would never even know it. Even when Joe wins, he loses. Because as soon as the match ended, a match that Balor dominated, Joe pinned him in about 90 seconds. That's how long the match went. Joe then attacked him, even though he had just won. Joe went and attacked him after the match. He put him in the Coquina Clutch. Balor slipped out, hit him with the coup de grace, and they played Finn Balor's music, and he posed. So the way this ended, you would think that he won. And as Balor is posing, his music comes to a stop. The lights are turned off section by section throughout the building until it's total darkness. And when they come back on, we see Bray Wyatt. And Wyatt has Balor set up in position for Sister Abigail. He's wearing his new outfit, his striped pants, his creepy new mask, a Tom Savini masterpiece. This thing is terrifying. Imagine being a little kid watching this show. I'd have had nightmares about that mask. I'm an adult and I might have nightmares about that mask. Looks like something straight out of a 1980s horror flick, which I think is why I love it so much. The only question is, does he wrestle with that thing on? You would think not. It would be difficult to breathe, but Kane wrestled how many years with a tiny little slit in his mask? But we finally got to see the Fiend. Not the Firefly Funhouse version of, Mr. Rogers' Bray Wyatt, although I think we probably will end up seeing him. At least what I would do, I would have him pop up backstage. When you go to an interview or something, you can have him dressed up in the sweater with his hair tied back, looking like a normal person, and save the Fiend for the actual matches. It's kind of like you would never throw it to an interview with the Demon, right? If they were going to interview Balor in the back, they'd probably interview him maybe earlier in the night before he put the paint on, but the only time you see the Demon is when he comes out to wrestle. I think they should work this the same way with Bray's alter ego. But this would seem anyway, to set up Balor's match for SummerSlam. I think that he is a great opponent for Bray because he's leaving anyway for a while, so it's an easy win for Wyatt against an established guy. Does he wrestle Finn Balor or does he wrestle the Demon? I like the whole, marketing around the idea of the Fiend against the Demon. If the Demon is good enough for Bobby Lashley, the way I look at it, he's good enough for Bray Wyatt. And I would have him hand the Demon his very first main roster loss. That would be a good statement to make in his debut. But if they want to continue this when Balor comes back, if Balor's only going to be gone 2 months, he could be back in time for Survivor Series. Maybe they want to have him just beat Finn Balor at SummerSlam. Balor goes away. Bray goes on to feud with whoever else. And when Balor comes back, he's got a ready-made program and a rematch with Wyatt waiting for him, maybe in the rematch. They do the Demon. And if they do that, if Bray beats Finn at SummerSlam, and then they, let's say at Survivor Series, they do the rematch with, the Fiend and the Demon, I'd have Bray beat him again. That's the only way you establish people. None of this 50-50 bullshit. You can beat somebody once and you can beat them again. God knows Seth Rollins did that 3 times with Baron Corbin, as well he should have, because he should not be losing to Baron Corbin. So it's okay to do that. You can have him beat him once, and you can have him beat him again. And that's what I would do. I think the Fiend should be the first personality to beat the Demon on the main roster. No more messing around with this guy. No more messing around with Bray Wyatt. He has been plagued by injury issues in the past. So has Samoa Joe, which might explain why they've been so gun-shy to ever, really pull the trigger on him. But they need to protect this guy and book him like they would any monster twice his size. And the only thing that could or should derail him is injury. And hopefully he stays healthy. But he should not have to worry about the booking or the positioning of his character, or wins and losses. They should be smart enough to handle this guy like he is their next big star. Whether he is or he isn't. Handle him like he is your next big star that has just been handed to you. It's like a newborn baby. Coddle him. Protect him at all costs. And the only person who could derail his push in that case would be Bray Wyatt if he were to get hurt. Otherwise, put everything behind this guy and just see how far he takes off. Because even if he's a heel, this guy has super babyface written all over him before long. I don't know how long, but before long. They've got something here. Don't screw it up.